We're installing the 1.5 kilowatt spindle upgrade kit on a Genmitsu CNC router. Okay, so first we install this adapter plate. And these are the 16mm bolts. And then a spring washer and a flat washer. So now we're going to install the spindle holder with the 25mm bolts. Alright, now we're going to install the spindle.
You want me to hold that?
Sure. Tighten these screws. Okay, so we're going to remove this. This was for the old DeWalt router. Just got to make sure that... So you're going to line up these tabs right here with the notches in the spindle. Just like that. And you can route this wire through here. Okay, so now we're going to hook up the wiring. So most CNC router controllers have a spindle output. This one happens to be 0 to 50 volts. And then also a laser output. Now, the laser output will always output a signal even if it's switched to spindle mode. So we can use the laser output for the speed control and the spindle output to turn the VFD on or into run. So we're going to set up the output because this is a 24 volt relay. So we're going to set this spindle output to 24 volts. Okay, and this relay, we need this relay to close X1 in common to turn this VFD into run mode. So okay, so to turn the spindle on, in Gerbil we're going to type M3, and usually you have to jog it to get it to start. So now the spindle's on. We're going to check the voltage here. Looks like it's at 30. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. 27. That mark should already be at 24 volts. 25.3. Turn it down a little more. 24.2. That's close enough. Okay, so now this is set to 24 volts, and we also have a guide in the description with how to set all this up to, if you want to look at that. But okay, so now we're going to turn the spindle off. So M5 turns the spindle off. Now we can connect this to the relay, and we also have a diode on here. This is to prevent inductive kickback to the controller. When the relay turns off, there's an inductive kickback, and that can just wreck the control board if you don't have a diode to stop it. So we got that on there, and we're just going to plug this into the relay. I don't know if you can get in there. Yeah, so we got X1 to common. So the normally open side of the relay goes to X1, and the common on the relay goes to common on the VFD. Okay, so now we have this PWM to analog converter. The VFD requires a 0 to 10 volt signal, and the controller outputs PWM from the laser. So you have the PWM coming in here. We have the red wire connected to VN, the black wire connected to ground, and the white wire connected to PWM on here. And then up top, we have a black wire connected to ground and a red wire connected to V out. And then on the VFD, we have that black wire connected to ground and the red one connected to AI1. And we will link this converter in the description and also the file to print this box for it. Okay, and the other wires on here, this one is the spindle output, and this one is the power from your outlet. These were already connected when we got it, but we will include a wiring diagram for these in the description. Okay, so now we're just going to put this cover on. That should be it. And also, for this box, we have a cover that we can put on there. I don't have the Allen wrench, but that goes on there. And that should be it. Okay, so we got to program a couple of parameters in here to use the analog control. So we're going to press program, data, and we're going to set POO3. So you can use this to scroll through the numbers. So we're going to set 3 to 2. So press data and set this value to 2. Press enter. Then we're going to go POO2, press data, and this one's going to be set to 1, which it already is. And then press program to save, and again to escape. Okay, so now that the VFD is configured, we need to set up gerbil. So we're going to go to service, settings. We're going to change the maximum speed. All right, so we're going to set the maximum spindle speed to 24,000. Okay. And we're going to set the... Okay, so now we're going to set the... We're going to program the... So we're going to program the max speed value into the controller. So it should be $30 equals 24,000. Send that. And we should be good. We can type $2, enter, and you can scroll through here and verify that it is set to 24,000. And that's it. Now we can hook up the water. Okay, so everything's plugged back in, and we're going to give it a quick test. So in gerbil, we're going to type M3 S5000, and it should turn the spindle on. Yep. Then to stop it, M5. And it stops.
Okay.
Alright, so now we can hook up the water.
Okay, so we have a 5-gallon bucket that we're with this submersible pump. Kevin, can you open up the bucket? There. So,
Well,
yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead. So basically, the pump's going to sit in the bucket.
It's tipped over right now, but
Yep.
yeah, we're gonna drill some holes in the lid for the pipes. So we got a 5/16 drill bit. We're gonna put 2 holes in the top.
Okay.
And then we'll just set this water pump up. Just like that. It's got little suction cup feet. And we're going to have to drill another hole. So for the cable, we got a 1 1/4 inch hole saw. And drill a hole here. Okay. Should probably get all that chips out of there. Okay. And then we'll pass the power cable through the lid. And we'll use the hose. Stick it through the smaller holes. So this one will connect to the pump. There we go. And we'll just pull the slack out there. Alright, and then the other hose it came with, stick that in here. This will be the return hose. Just push that in a little bit. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to loosen these up and pull the little dust cap off. Stick one of the hoses on, or through the cap, then stick it on there and tighten this down.
Okay, we have the water system set up, and I don't know if you can hear that running. The pump is running, and if you look really closely, you can see there's actually water moving. We have deionized water running through the system right now. No leaks, so we're all set to go. Everything is working great. The last step is to tram the spindle, and we'll cover that in our next video.